Can meat really be the worst thing in the world? This question might seem extreme at first. However, a closer look at the meat industry reveals a web of complex issues. These issues touch upon the environment, animal welfare, and even human health. The truth is, our appetite for meat comes at a steep price. It's a price the planet, its animals, and ultimately, we ourselves cannot afford to pay. The environmental repercussions of meat production are staggering. From vast deforestation to alarming greenhouse gas emissions, the industry casts a long shadow. Water consumption in meat production dwarfs that of plant-based alternatives. Furthermore, the ethical implications of raising animals in factory farm settings are deeply unsettling. These are realities we can no longer ignore. This essay will delve into the multifaceted reasons why meat could be considered the worst thing on Earth. By understanding the full scope of its impact, we can begin to make more informed and compassionate choices about our diets. The future of our planet, the welfare of billions of animals, and our own well-being may depend on it. The environmental impact of meat production is undeniable. One of the most pressing concerns is the industry's contribution to climate change. Livestock, particularly cattle, are significant emitters of methane. Methane is a greenhouse gas far more potent than carbon dioxide in trapping heat in the atmosphere. Deforestation is another major environmental consequence of meat production. Vast swaths of forest, particularly in the Amazon rainforest, are cleared to make way for grazing land and feed crops for livestock. This deforestation not only destroys vital habitats, but also releases massive amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, further exacerbating climate change. The impact on biodiversity is devastating, pushing countless species towards extinction. The production of meat requires significantly more land, water, and energy compared to plant-based alternatives. The resources needed to raise livestock for meat could be used to grow significantly more plant-based food, which could feed a larger population more sustainably. The inefficient use of resources in the meat industry poses a serious threat to global food security, especially as the world's population continues to grow. Water scarcity is a growing global concern, and meat production is a major culprit. It takes thousands of gallons of water to produce a single pound of beef, far exceeding the water footprint of plant-based proteins like lentils, beans, and tofu. This excessive water use depletes aquifers, dries up rivers, and exacerbates water shortages in many regions around the world. Beyond water, meat production consumes a disproportionate amount of resources. Large amounts of grain, energy, and land are required to raise livestock for meat. In contrast, plant-based agriculture uses fewer resources and is more efficient at converting sunlight and water into edible food. Shifting towards plant-based diets could free up vast amounts of resources that could be used to address global challenges like hunger, water scarcity, and climate change. This inefficient use of resources is not only environmentally damaging, but also ethically questionable. Using vast amounts of land, water, and energy to produce meat, while millions of people around the world face hunger and malnutrition, raises serious questions about resource allocation and global food security. The ethical implications of meat production are often overlooked. Billions of animals are raised and slaughtered for food each year, the vast majority in factory farms. These animals live in cramped, unsanitary conditions, deprived of their natural behaviors and subjected to immense suffering. Many consumers are unaware of the harsh realities of factory farming. The industry often hides behind misleading marketing and labels. However, the truth is far more disturbing. Investigative footage reveals cruelty and neglect that shock the conscience. Supporting an industry that inflicts such suffering is unacceptable. Section 5. The price tag of a steak environmental degradation. The environmental cost of meat production extends beyond greenhouse gas emissions and deforestation. The industry is a major contributor to water pollution, contaminating rivers, lakes, and groundwater. This pollution can lead to harmful algal blooms and the death of aquatic life. It also poses significant risks to human health. Meat production requires vast amounts of pesticides and fertilizers. These chemicals harm wildlife and potentially contaminate our food supply. Overuse of antibiotics in animal agriculture contributes to antibiotic-resistant bacteria. The environmental degradation caused by meat production is a global problem. From climate change to biodiversity loss, the impact is felt across the planet. Addressing this issue requires a fundamental shift in our food system. Section 6. Red meat and the human cost. Red meat consumption impacts human health significantly, linked to heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and cancer. Processed meats are Group 1 carcinogens known to cause cancer. High saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, increasing heart disease risk. High in sodium and nitrates, processed meats linked to negative health outcomes, major risk factor for chronic diseases and leading causes of death. Reducing meat consumption offers significant health benefits. Plant-based diets lower chronic disease risk and promote health. Section 7. Beyond the burger, exploring alternatives. Fortunately, there are delicious and nutritious alternatives to meat readily available. Plant-based proteins such as beans, lentils, tofu, tempeh, and seitan offer a wide range of flavors and textures. These options are better for the environment and animal welfare and packed with nutrients. The plant-based food industry has exploded in recent years, with innovative companies creating delicious and convenient meat alternatives. From fast food chains to gourmet restaurants, plant-based options are becoming increasingly prevalent. Section 8. The future of protein plant-based powerhouses. Plant-based proteins are not only versatile and delicious, but they also offer a wealth of health benefits. Legumes, such as beans, lentils, and chickpeas, are excellent sources of fiber, protein, and complex carbohydrates, which can help regulate blood sugar levels, promote digestive health, and reduce the risk of chronic diseases. Tofu and tempeh, made from soybeans, are complete proteins, providing all 9 essential amino acids. Nuts and seeds, such as almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, and flax seeds, are packed with healthy fats, fiber, protein, and antioxidants, which can benefit heart health, brain function, and reduce inflammation. Incorporating a variety of plant-based proteins into our diets ensures that we are getting a wide range of nutrients to support overall health and well-being. The shift towards plant-based diets is gaining momentum globally. As more people become aware of the environmental, ethical, and health implications of meat consumption, they are seeking out alternative sources of protein. This trend is driven by a growing awareness of the interconnectedness of our food choices with the health of the planet and all its inhabitants. Section 9. Cultivating change. The rise of lab-grown meat. Another promising alternative to conventional meat is lab-grown meat, also known as cultured meat or cellular agriculture. This innovative technology involves growing animal cells in a laboratory setting to produce meat that is biologically identical to conventional meat, but without the need for animal slaughter. Lab-grown meat has the potential to revolutionize the food industry, offering a more sustainable, ethical, and potentially healthier way to produce meat. Lab-grown meat addresses many of the concerns associated with conventional meat production. It requires significantly less land, water, and energy, and it eliminates the need for factory farms and the associated animal welfare issues. Lab-grown meat also has the potential to be produced with a lower risk of contamination from bacteria and diseases, making it a potentially safer food source. While lab-grown meat is still in its early stages of development, it has garnered significant investment and attention from both startups and established food companies. As the technology advances and production costs decrease, lab-grown meat is poised to become a more accessible and affordable alternative to conventional meat in the near future. Section 10. The domino effect. Meat's impact on society and economy. The impact of meat production extends beyond the environment, animal welfare, and human health. It also has significant social and economic consequences. The meat industry is a major contributor to global inequality, as vast amounts of land, water, and other resources are used to produce meat for wealthy nations, while millions of people in developing countries struggle with hunger and malnutrition. The industrialization of animal agriculture has also led to the displacement of small farmers and the consolidation of power within a few large corporations. This concentration of power gives these corporations significant influence over government policies and regulations, often at the expense of public health, animal welfare, and the environment. The meat industry is heavily subsidized in many countries, making meat artificially cheap and distorting the true cost of production. These subsidies perpetuate the cycle of unsustainable and unethical meat production, while hindering the growth of more sustainable and equitable food systems. Redirecting these subsidies towards plant-based agriculture and other sustainable food solutions could have a transformative impact on global food security and sustainability. Section 11. Choosing compassion, a call for conscious eating. The evidence is clear: our current system of meat production is unsustainable, unethical, and detrimental to our health and the health of the planet. However, we have the power to change course. By reducing or eliminating our consumption of meat, we can make a profound difference for ourselves, for animals, and for the future of our planet. Every meal is an opportunity to make a choice that aligns with our values. By choosing plant-based meals more often, we can reduce our environmental footprint, support a more compassionate food system, and improve our overall health and well-being. We can also advocate for policies that promote sustainable agriculture, animal welfare, and access to healthy, affordable food for all. The future of food is in our hands. Let us choose compassion, sustainability, and a healthier, more just food system for all. Together, we can create a world where our plates reflect our values and our choices nourish both ourselves and the planet.